Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So today I'm talking about how to manage a low mood. And I'm afraid I've lulled you here under false pretenses because I'm not probably going to really tell you how to manage a low mood. But I think you might get some how out of it, out of what I'm going to share with you. So I don't know why this came to mind. I think I was listening to a podcast myself about low moods earlier today. And there was something in that reminded me about a client I once had who came to see me. Now, this young man is probably in about his mid-20s, which is young to me. He came to me and it's not too fine a point to put on, he was distraught about the fact that he was waking up a lot in a low mood. He was waking up feeling, a little bit off and a little bit grumpy. And I think he probably used the word grumpy more than the word low mood. The word low mood's a bit more psychological, isn't it, when we speak about things like that? But he was waking up grumpy every day, and he wasn't wasn't happy about it. Ironically, he wasn't happy about being grumpy. But when I say that, that's really it, isn't it? Like, if we were grumpy and we didn't care, it wouldn't be such a big issue, isn't it? It's a fact that, so for him, it was the fact that he thought that he wasn't supposed to be feeling that way. First of all, he thought it meant there was something wrong with him. He then was trying to manage that feeling and really focusing on it and trying to get rid of it, which then meant that he wasn't sleeping very well because who's going to bed every night thinking, oh, I'm going to wake up in a low mood. I'm not supposed to be like that. And there's something wrong with me. And he was then, I think he'd started probing around on the internet. He found some stuff about, how to manage it all and how to not have low moods and positive thinking and affirmations. And he'd really started to get caught up in that. And so he was really feeling a bit bad about himself as much as anything. And as usual in my sessions, he talked for a while and I listened. And he, I could hear that a lot of it was about the fact that he didn't think it was okay to have that particular mood, to have those low moods. Now, at the end of him talking, I didn't say very much. The main thing I said was, it sounds to me like you think that you're not supposed to have these low moods. And he looked a bit flabbergasted by that. He looked a bit shocked. What do you mean? He kind of said, what do you mean? What do you mean? Of course I'm not supposed to be in a low mood. I'm not supposed to be grumpy. And I said, well, we all are sometimes, aren't we? Yeah, we're all sometimes. I mean, I sometimes just wake up in a mood, or I fall into one at some point in the day, and I'm not really sure why. Like, I try not to get too much caught up in the why, because of course the why is exhausting. Have you noticed? trying to work out why, it can be really exhausting. I used to go, oh, is it the full moon or the new moon, or is it Mars in retrograde, or is it just the menopause? Is it my underactive thyroid? Is it, adrenal fatigue, or, endless things, or have I just got some rubbishy thinking? I mean, that's probably mostly the cause of our low moods, isn't it? It's that we've just got rubbishy thinking. So this young man was we talked a little further. I obviously enhanced a little bit what I'd said to him, but I really was pointing to the fact that as human beings, we are not this. We're not a straight line. We're not, for those of you listening, it's not a straight line. We're not, drawing a straight line there. We're not a straight line. We're more like a roller coaster. And I think when we think we're not supposed to be having these fluctuations in our moods, our roller coastering is much more steep up and down. Whereas when there is some acceptance, that immediately levels out the bumps a little bit, because we're not wrongifying this mood that we might be in. Now, where low moods are actually really helpful. If you didn't have them, you wouldn't, if you didn't feel something, if you didn't feel that kind of feeling, that low mood feeling, you wouldn't have any gauge as to the fact that, that it's a good time to have some awareness about what you're thinking about doing, because it's likely to be unhelpful. You're likely to be snappier. You're likely to not speak to your loved ones as kindly. You might do something that's not particularly healthy for you. Your decision-making capability when you're in those moods is a bit rubbish, really. And that's because the low mood is generally information. It is, not generally, always is information to let you know that your state of mind's a bit dodgy. It's a bit off. Now, that's wonderful information, isn't it? Like, I think I've started saying this quite a bit, but if you went around and interviewed people and said, what do you think about how you act when you're in a low mood? Most people would say, "Oh, I'm a bit rubbish. I tend to snap at my kids. I'm not so good." So that the how to manage a low mood is just to be aware of it. That's it. That's all you need to do, because a few things happen with that awareness. Not awareness and judgment, not awareness and I'm not supposed to be like this, and not awareness or toxic positivity where they say, you're not supposed to, you can be happy all the time. God, can you imagine if I was happy all the time? I think I'd be really irritated with people in the main. That's not true, really, but it just came to mind. It's quite funny. That we, thinking we're not supposed to be like that is the biggest part of the problem. Completely lost my train of thought because I really, really want to. Luckily, I have a really useful mute button on my microphone, so you didn't have to experience me sneezing. But that's what the little pause was there. It was me sneezing, and me losing my train of thought in a sneeze, which is that's probably the first time, well, not the first time that's happened actually. So let's just recap that. So the low mood is okay. It's just information. It's just letting us know. You're a bit off kilter at the moment. Your state of mind's not so good. Now, when we know that, there may be some things that occur to us to do to give ourselves, to look after ourselves. Like that's the thing, is when you're in a low mood, just look after yourself. So start with being kind to yourself and compassionate, because whatever it's about, the low mood, whatever the grumpiness is about, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to analyze that, but you're clearly a bit out of kilter. Now, that's just helpful because that means, watch out for yourself. Be kind to yourself, but also watch out, know that your interactions might be a bit dodgy today. Try maybe to not hang around with the people who you don't get on with so well. But, so it's all about self-care. It's all that's where, that low mood is an indication to take care of yourself. I mean, we have because I am a woman of a certain age, and menopause is part of my makeup at the moment, it seems. Very occasionally, I'm just in a irritated mood, and that for the people in my house, which is mostly Bruce, means watch out. But what I do now is when I'm in one of those moods is I just let him know. I just say, look, sweetie, I'm just in a, I'm just not in a good place today. I'm in a bad mood. I might be a little bit more critical than normal because I kind of know, I don't want to be in a place of trying to manage it all day long. So, letting him know that I'm a bit, and then he's just really gentle with me or might avoid me a little bit or whatever. So it's okay to let people know, oh, I don't know what's going on, but I'm in a bit of a low mood. But the most important thing for me is seeing that, aren't we lucky? Like, I really see now a low mood is a gift. It's a gift because it is our system saying, watch out for your behaviour, watch out for your thinking, watch out for what might be wanting to come out of your mouth today, because it's not as likely to be as helpful as when you're in a calm, collected state of mind. So there's nothing to do to manage it. Sorry for lulling you into this recording with the title of How to Manage Your Low Mood. But it's, I guess the management is just around knowing what information it's giving you. The low mood is letting you know about a low state of mind. You're feeling off because your thinking's off. And then you can navigate life with that information. And it just means that we're less likely to cock it up. Like, we're less likely to do something unkind, do something that's not right for us, make rubbish decisions or snap at our loved ones because we've got this information letting us know. So I hope you're not in a low mood today. I hope you're in a great mood, and I hope you're in an even better one having listened to that. So lots of love and have a fabulous day.
Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.